OG Lava is the world's realest, Toronto's favorite, someone who has seen the development of the hip-hop culture from day one and is still part of it now in the present, bringing the blessings into hip-hop, you know what I mean, bringing that hardcore street consciousness, you know what I mean. That's OG Lava right there.
So could you tell us how you started?
Was in the staircases in Lawrence Heights jungle. The older cats used to come to my door, and we used to do diss jokes, right, where we would diss each other and, you know, compete, almost like battling. So I got dissed hard, right? So I had to defend myself. So that's what made me decide to write my first verse. And when I wrote my first verse, it was more than just a retaliation. It was like the start of a career right there, because their little one-liner that they hit me with, they couldn't compete with the whole verse that I wrote that was just well structured and had an opening and a conclusion, and then I just took it from there and started writing songs. And you know, I started spitting my songs in the schoolyard, and the kids started crowding around and started demanding more. So that's when I realized, say, yo, you know what I mean? Forget the battling, let me just start making music and start going to studios, and you know, and then I ended up being a dancer for a rap group out of Jane and Finch, Tobermory, and they had a studio, and then I ended up asking them, say, yo, let me try something in the studio, you know? And you know, they let me do my thing, but I could tell they kind of wanted me to stay as a dancer, you know? They didn't want no competition. So then I ended up in a studio in Scarborough with some DJs who they were actually looking to build an artist, right? A rapper, because they were just DJs, and a DJ needs a rapper. In those days it was more about crews, right? I mean, now it's more about like the artist being a superstar. But back then it was normal to be in a crew where you have the producer, you have the DJ, you have the rapper, maybe even a few rappers. Everyone would shout each other out. There'd be a name of a group that reflects, you know, all of them, you know what I'm saying? Or it'd be like Eric B and Rakim. So their names are both mentioned, right? But as time went on, I found people got more caught up in society. They got caught up more in the paper chase. Some dudes went to prison, a lot of dudes died along the way, got murdered, and it just became more of an individualistic thing, more like a cutthroat rat race thing, you know? So it kind of made me stumble a little bit and have to come out of the industry a bit and focus more on just handling my life, you know? Taking care of kids, paying bills, in and out of prison myself, you know what I mean? And then, you know, eventually I had to sort out all these real life issues to be able to create some sort of stability, so now I could focus on doing this rap thing properly, you know? But I gathered a lot of knowledge along the way, so now it's time for the volcanic eruption, you know what I'm saying? Lava is the blood of all the innocent souls, all the people who died throughout history, resurrecting from the dead with power, you know, to new life.
How would you describe your style of music?
Well, that's tricky, because originally my music was very dirty, underground, hip-hop, old school sounding. But now I've been living downtown, going to all these clubs downtown, and they play mostly trap, right? So the trap style has kind of started to grow on me, right? So I would say my style right now is probably a bit of a combination of that old school, original grassroots hip-hop, what they call it, head knot, you know what I'm saying? The boom bap style, and a combination of the new swag type of, you know what I'm saying, Migos, Future type of thing, because I sing now also, you know what I mean? And I like both styles. I mean, a lot of industry people, they create a separation as if it's like two totally different things, but I don't see it that way, you know what I'm saying? If it's hot, then, and the people is feeling it, you know, they're getting with it, who am I to argue? You know what I mean?
Lava's style has always been hardcore, street, you know. one of the things that people always will comment about Lava is that he's clear. He has a strong level of clarity. So, talking also about his style, I remember driving in the car with some ladies, and they were like, "Wow, this is like that Rasta music, but on hip hop." So Lava bringing that element of Rastafari into hip hop is just a whole different element. That it's a unique experience that can only come out of somewhere like Toronto or Canada, where you're a bit in Babylon, a bit in the mix-up, but not exactly 100% because of his spirituality. I mean, so his sound, what he brings to the table is just something different, something unique. But clarity is the first thing Lava is, and then his background and his roots and his experience comes into the music.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So could you tell us some of the artists you listen to that has inspired you?
I would say the first artist that I heard inspired me was artists like Big Daddy Kane, artists like Rakim, KRS-One, right? Because what I liked about them is that they were hardcore, they were street, they had a high level of lyrical skill, but they also, you know, like King was saying, they also were bringing some sort of a message or consciousness, or, you know what I mean? They weren't just rhyming cat with hat, you know? They were also showing that who they are as a person is on a higher level than just the average rapper, you know? I think Big Daddy Kane was a 5%er, Godbody, Rakim also, KRS-One was into this edutainment and being the teacher, and, you know, bringing black consciousness, and right? But a lot of people do that, but the black consciousness thing, but they don't bring it in a way that's entertaining or that, you know, is skillful, right? So that's what I liked about those artists. So that inspired me to do it. You know, along the way, started listening to Dead Prez, right? Their first album, Let's Get Free, I believe it was called. That really moved me. You know what I'm saying? Artists like Lauryn Hill. Let's see, who else? Who else did we used to rock with?
Well, you always rocking that Sizzler, you know what I mean? The reggae music as well.
Yeah, reggae music. I actually always listen to more reggae than hip hop, right? So, you know what I mean? I look at myself as a reggae artist. You know, Garnet Silk, Dennis Brown, all of that type of stuff. I look at myself as a reggae artist, even though I do hip hop. The reason why is because, you know, I was born in Jamaica, and the one thing about reggae music is that it's always remained authentic. Whereas with hip hop, there's just so much, always accusations about who's selling out, who's just working for the labels, who got ghostwriters, and, you know what I mean, who's trying to be mainstream, and right. Whereas reggae music has always been a music that's just been governed by the people. You know what I mean? It's all about, reggae music is how hip hop started, but remained that way up to this day. You know what I mean? Without any type of corporate influence. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always see myself as a reggae artist, you know?
When you mention Dead Prez, it's important for people to understand that that's like family. That's like peers, as people we talk to. You know what I mean? These are also brethren and fans. When I link up with M1 or a Stickman, they're like, yo, tell Godzilla. That's his original name from back in the days. Yo, tell Godzilla, we still be bumping this old shit. You know what I mean? And then when they link up in New York, it's a different thing. So this is some of the artists that are on a certain wavelength. It's a purism. You understand? It's a family thing. It's a different vibration. You know what I mean? When we did the Black August tour, that was to raise money for political prisoners. You know what I mean? We did New York, and then did Chicago, and then we're trying to do some stuff with Toronto. You know what I mean? Well, what we did instead is what we did. We did a bus trip and let people come on our tour bus to experience the American experience, so they can get that authentic thing. Because doing it here, the political prisoner vibe, which is the main concept of what the Black August tour was about, was not really relevant here. But the black experience was relevant, so we brought people to where that thing was relevant, let them get that connection. You know what I mean? So it's just important to mention those things.
Yeah, we people like us we're a good bridge to bridge the gap between like the average Canadian that might have an interest in black culture or hip hop, and then the Americans who's actually doing it. Because a lot of Canadians were only seeing it through the media. You know, we have a perception of what it's about. But like man like us have always been actually connected and have real relationship with Americans, right? And behind the scenes, and like he said, we kick it with them on a levels where it's not a groupie thing or it's not about business, right? So when Dead Prez first came to Canada, I performed with them, freestyled with them on the radio, and stayed with them in the same house, right? And when I was in Brooklyn, they accommodated me over there too. We were on our way to the studio to make a track. We got arrested together. You know what I'm saying? And that's real life stuff. You know what I mean? So we're able to translate now to Canadians who really don't get it, what's really happening behind the scenes in the States. We're able to translate to them and let them know how things really are, as opposed to just how things appear in the media.
And vice versa. I don't know how hardcore we can talk in this program, but when we're at certain places, like, y'all got niggas in Canada, you know what I'm saying? So we also letting cats know in the States for years, about 2 decades now, that yeah, we got niggas here, we got hoods here, we got a community here. So it's a cultural exchange.
A lot of Americans knew about Toronto through us. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's any projects that's coming out that you want the people to look for?
Well, I got an EP out right now. You can get it for free on SoundCloud. I also got an energy drink coming out called Lava Tonic. I also have a cartoon app. It's like a game, right? Called Lava Kid. So you could see that at lavakid.com, and that's more geared towards kids. Basically, a volcano erupts in Manhattan. Lava Kid pops out the volcano, surfing on a lava wave with the spirit of the ancestors and the clouds of smoke. You know what I mean? So it's some powerful stuff for the kids to really wrap their mind and their soul around and guide the kids towards things that is important from a cultural from a righteous perspective, you know.
There's some cross promotion with the Lava Kid character in the last video.
Yeah, so I got a video called Love and Hate right now. It's getting a lot of love on YouTube, and you could see a quick snippet of that character in that video.
It's like a virtual reality.
Yeah. I also have another video that I just had to re-upload yesterday for some technical reasons. It's a song with Junior Reid called Love and Hate. My bad. Right. So I just uploaded a video with Junior Reid. I had to re-upload it because of some technical reasons. That song is called Hell No, featuring Junior Reid. You can see that on YouTube right now.